Hey, welcome again. Now you can see we have different arms this time, and we have two options. You can have a weapon or you cannot have the weapon. Like this is the default mode. We do not have a weapon. You can run around, you can move around. And the good thing is, if I come right in here we have this weapon, and I can just pick up the weapon pressing F key. In this case, like you can choose any key. And then I have the weapon. I can just move around, I can just run and walk and just shoot. You can see we have this nice effects, and like we have these animations as well, shooting animations. And you can see we have a lot of options in here. We can shoot at the characters, but of course till now they do not receive anything because they don't have functionality for that. And yeah, now we can move around, walk around with a weapon, or of course we cannot have a weapon. That's our option. And we can come right here and just walk around and shoot around. Till now we do not have any enemies or zombies that can attack us, which is fine because in upcoming videos we'll definitely talk about that. And the next thing is we can just shoot around. In some places we cannot receive anything, like we also have impact sound effect, you can see, like that. So now let's go to the video and I'll show you what's new in here. If I stop the game and come back in here, now you can see if I come back right in here, there we have this weapon which is in here. So I created a new weapon class. In last videos I showed you I had arms and the weapon was with arm, which is not a good idea. Man, to be honest, I did not have many assets for that, to have different weapon and arms like animations. But thanks to my friend, now I have a lot of assets. And if I come right in here, I have animations, and I have arms with rifle, shotgun, knife, pistol, and many more animations that I can use. So first I started with unarmed and the pistol because that would be the basic level, and then we can go on and add more weapons as well. That's why I created this weapon class, so that we can add any weapon into this one. If I press Ctrl B to find it right in here, and if I open this one, you can see the parent of this class is weapon based class. I'll show you that in a moment, but now you can see this is the weapon class, and weapon class has this skeletal mesh, and that you can select skeletal mesh. For that you can select any animation blueprint. For that we created animation blueprint for weapons as well, and there are a lot of things going on. So I'll come back to Visual Studio, and in Visual Studio I created this weapon class which is based on actor class. So that's just an actor class that we can spawn in the world and we can pick up. And there are a lot of things going on in actor class. We have the shoot function in here. We also have this sphere component, and down here we also have weapon mesh component and fire montage that we can select, because like weapon has fire montage, that animation and muzzle effect should be on the weapon. And up here I have unsphere begin overlap and unsphere end overlap, so that we could use if the character is in range that we can pick up the weapon or not. And that's the PPT file. We have the constructor, which where we construct these two components, and sphere component is road component. Weapon mesh is attached into that. And down here we have it begin play, and begin play we just add this add dynamic and begin overlap and add dynamic and in overlap, which we pass these two functions. And in these two functions we say if the other actor is character class, our own character class, then we add it to variables to the character class that is can pick up and which weapon it should pick. And we change this to variables to true. And down here we say if character leaves the area of the weapon, then we can set the can pick up weapon to false, because he will no longer be allowed to pick up the weapon. So there we have this shoot function as well, and weapon class that we can shoot. And in shoot function all we do is to play this montage, and that is fire montage. As I told you, we have montage for weapon. If I come into weapon class, here I have that montage. So if I come here to the weapon class and here I search for fire montage, well, I'll need to select the class defaults. Here you can see we have this fire montage, and if I open this one, you can see this is the fire montage. And of course we added the particle effect and sound effect into the weapon, so we don't need to play sound effect location or one particle effect location. And then here we have these sound effects for which we created this sound queue. If I open, we have these 4 different sounds that we can randomly play, and we have this pistol muzzle that we can play at this location, so that we can shoot like this. And you can see this has this cool animations as well. Look at that we can spawn weapon shells in here. And then I can close this one. So this is all we do in this shoot function, like that. And what we do in character class, like what's new in character class? First thing I did was to add pickup input. Look at this. We have this input action and we have this new function for that, which is pickup. And in pickup function, if I come down here, first we add that to input component because we need to do that. And in pickup function, first we check if we can pick up the weapon or not. If you cannot, we will return. Or if the weapon is available or not. If the weapon is not available, then we will return again. And if these two are valid, it means like we have the weapon and we can pick up the weapon. So from weapon class, I'll tell him attach to component, which mesh. We need to get the mesh from actor class, and also we'll tell him snap to target, including scale. And in here, I'll attach to the socket called socket pistol, which is with the arms. And then I'll tell him sphere collision. I'll set the sphere collision enabled to no collision because we don't need collision anymore. And down here, I'll tell him B has a weapon to true. I'll explain to you in a moment why we do that. And down here in character shoot, first we check if we have weapon or not, because we should not be able to shoot if we do not have weapon. And if the weapon is valid, then we shoot. This is all the functionality from other videos, but what we did new is here we shoot and weapon class as well. So we want to play that animation montage and weapon as well. And then, as I told you, here we have this variable that's called B has weapon or not up here, which we true if we pick up the weapon. So that variable is right here as well. If I come down here to weapon section, here you can see we have this B has weapon. By default, it's false, and we tell him blueprint read only because we need to access this from blueprints as well, and we need to allow private access because this is a private variable. So by default, that's false. And when we pick up the weapon, that would be turned to true, which means we have a weapon. Now, if I come back to Unreal Engine, and in Unreal Engine in character base class, well, we have that variable. Here we have this animation blueprint for these arms. If I come and open animation blueprint, in animation blueprint, we have two things, which is blend space for pistol single. And if he does not have pistol, what does this say? Single means in upcoming videos, we'll add knife and shield as well. So that's why I named the things which are only for pistol with no knife and no shield as pistol single, so that I can understand the difference between them. Pistol knife, pistol shield, and pistol single. And we also add this empty, like with the no weapon. So by default, we play that because has weapon is false. And we access this one from here. First, from this try get owner, we just cast to this. I know casting is not a good idea. In upcoming videos, I'll show you how we can create a C++ class of this anime instance. But for now, I just did it, and I promoted that to variable. Down here, I check if the variable is valid. Then first we promote this one to a variable as well, which is has weapon from C++, remember. And we also get the speed as well from this get velocity and vector length xy. We promote that to speed. Simple thing. And in an anim graph, we check if they have a weapon or not. If a character has weapon, then well, we will play this pistol animation. If character does not have a weapon, we will play this normal animation. This is a blend space 2D only. If I open this one, like both of them are the same one, so I'll just open one of them and I'll explain it to you. How you can create one of these, you can just come anywhere and right click until from animations. From this legacy, you can create this blend space 1D. And in here, we added 3 animations. Like this is the idle animation. In this case, he has this idle animation, but in empty, he has this idle animation, like he's just doing that thing. And this is walking animation, and this is running animation. And that's how we have these two. If I change to pistol back, now you can see this is the pistol idle animation, this is the pistol walk animation, and this is the pistol run animation, which is cool. And lastly, well, if I come here and search for the montage, here you can see we have this pistol shoot montage and these arms, which I created in here, and this is just for shooting. And yeah, that's just simple animation. Now, if I come here and play the game, of course, we have this animation. If I press F11 to full screen, now you can see we have this animation. And if I come here and pick up the weapon, pressing F key, now you can see I have a weapon and I can just shoot around, and that is cool. And yeah, one of my friends told me that we have a problem. Like, look at this, the shadow is just the shadow of the arms. Like we don't have a character, and this shadow with arms, this looks weird. so we don't need to worry about that in a moment. In upcoming videos I'll show you how we can fix that problem with character, like invisible character, which will only has animations. He will not be visible in here. So now we have this result, which is cool, and I also added this to GitHub as well. Like this is a new commit. If I come in here to our GitHub repository, in here we have now 3 commits, and this commit is called weapon class. You can open this one and you can check all the new changes in here. You can see this is the header files we added to, well, this is not what we did. From here we started, like this is the CPP file. We added these 2 header files in here, and as I told you, we added this input component by an action, which is for this character pickup, and we added this whole function in here, and we also added these 2 lines to this character shoot. So we check if he has weapon, and if the weapon is valid. If not, we return early, and we shoot from the weapon as well. And down here, this is the forward declaration of a weapon class. If you don't know about these things, you can just take my course. Link will be down there where I explained everything. And here we have this U property, in which is input action for pickup, and this is the pickup function, which is in private section. And down here we have these 2 variables, 3 variables, which is B has weapon and he can pick up the weapon or not, and a weapon pointer to the weapon class, which we need. And down here the public section, we have these 2 setters for setting the pickup weapon and setting the weapon class itself, because these 2 variables are private variable and we don't want to give access to other classes, but we need to set this from the weapon class. That's why we have these 2 setter functions for them. And this is the whole code of weapon-based-class.cpp file, which you can just simply take from here, from our GitHub repository, and this is the .h file code for that. So after doing all this work, now we have this result. I'll play the game and I press F11, and just I can come here and pick up the weapon, and I can just move around. So again, if you like the video, you can just like the video and write something in the comment. If you have any recommendation, you can write it in the comments, or even if you don't have any comments, you can just write something in the comment that I'm watching, so that I can understand that someone is watching, and I can continue on adding some more cool features and sharing them all with you. So I hope I'll see you again in the next video.